Okay, good evening, East Africa. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Brother Abdulaziz. Nice to have you.
Good evening, my friend Ashraf. Nice to have you too, or nice to be with you guys.
Thank you. So we are kind of late.
Uh-huh.
We're very sorry to our viewers. We have delayed due to some technical challenges. But here we are with the great man, Professor Abdulaziz Al Fakhouri,
Thank you.
a long-time friend. I thought he has a lot of experience to share with us. So this is why we chose him for tonight's webinar.
I appreciate
And
that.
yeah, he's a professor at King Saud University in Riyadh. People
Uh-huh.
are saying salam. We have a sister saying salam here,
Uh-huh.
Sister Mona.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And just like 1 minute for others to join in,
Uh-huh.
since we are the ones to blame for the for
For
the
that
delay.
technical difficulty.
Yeah, Sister Mona, nice to have you. I don't know where the your buddies are, but we also have Dr. Sumaya. Dr.
Mhm.
Sumaya, say hi to our guest. I can see you're watching with us from Tunis. She is
Uh-huh.
the president of Excellencia Tunisian chapter.
MashaAllah. Beautiful.
So we have a very interesting topic today, Brother Abdulaziz, and I believe our
Yes.
people are going to like it because it is hot, it is important,
Inshallah.
especially for communities like Uganda, where above 80%
Mm-hmm.
are youths.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, someone is like, I'm calling my buddies. We shall give you a few minutes to make that invitation, Sister Mona.
Yep.
So our topic is okay. Dr. Sumaya is saying Salam alaikum from Tunis.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Dr. Sumaya, and we congratulate you upon your conference. It was really great. Okay, what we are discussing today, members, we are talking about school, yesterday's school today and school tomorrow. We are looking at life after school, life in school, because there has to be something that we need to do about, uh, if we are to secure
Mm-hmm.
success in the future, inshallah. And of course, we're not forgetting God here, but we need to plan for that. So our guest is going to be together we're going to be exploring some very important key things that some things can do.
Mm-hmm.
Malik is saying hello, doctor.
Hello to you too.
Yeah. Hello, Malik. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
So, Dr. Abdulaziz, I
Yes.
was just trying to buy some time for our people who are not yet here, but they will join us. No worries. So we are looking at school. Okay, we are looking at school, and we
Mm-hmm.
need to understand what school is. Okay,
Right.
if you are a person in the education system, you're a professor at the university.
Yes.
So, what can you say about school? What is school about, in your
Um,
own opinion?
so, first of all, thank you for having me, Ashraf, in this beautiful gathering. And I hope, inshallah, I will be useful and I will be, uh, m- with my humble knowledge, that is going to be fulfill uh, what do you expect. Um, Speaking of school, I think school is a base that prepare you for and give you tools to face the future world to face the world in the future. These tools you may use some, you may not use some, and you better try to get the best tools out of the school. Um, Uh, in the period of being at school, you are gonna be taking. After school, you're gonna be giving more than taking. So to do in order to do that, you have to be educated enough. You have all the skills that is required to pursue a job as an employer or as an employee.
Mhm. Okay, thank you very much. So, according to you, school is preparing, we are trying to prepare our young generation to be able to know what to do
Exactly.
in the future when they become adults. And
Yes.
you have mentioned something very important to me, like we shall
Hmm.
study something, we shall study
Yes.
quite a number of things, but you can take some skills and you can leave some skills. And
True.
which brings me to a question: how can we distinguish what we might need and what we might not need? Because it happens like we just go to class most of the time and
Uh-huh.
we find teachers, we find lecturers, we find notes. So how
Hmm.
can we understand what really will work for us in the future, especially since we do not even know about the curriculum most of the times?
Yes. That's a very good question. First of all, before going into school, so it's a big picture, or it's a one big picture. First of all, before going to school, you need to know what are the topics you are gonna study, what do you like, and you should consider yourself that you are gonna stay there for a couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years. So you better like what you are doing in those 3, 4, 5 years. This will give you a push towards the future and towards discovering more of your field. One good thing, and this is something I advise every single student I have, since you are in your college years, it's very good to use your time in the summer where you don't have classes and try to test the grounds of your job market. For example, um, you are gonna study the first semester, and then when the summer comes, just go and try to look at some of those companies or those governmental entities or any place that would be a good employer for you. For example, if I am a biomedical engineer and I want to go and be working in hospitals in the future, or in I'm gonna be working in biomedical engineering companies. So in the summer, I would go and ask them to have a summer training. This summer training is going to be very helpful in terms of you knowing what is going to be the future job and after graduation. Also, you're going to know those places that you're going to work at from the inside, and you are going to know if you picked the right subspecialty and if you picked the right field to pursue in your studies. And the good thing is you are still a student, you are still a trainee, so you are not gonna be uh, 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 it's not gonna be a problem if you did mistakes or you did anything or anything went wrong.
Okay. Thank you very much for those insights. From what I understand, first of all, I would love to welcome everyone who has just joined in. We have quite a number of them. We have Jalia, we
Hmm.
have Fauzia, we have Ahmed. Thanks for being
Yep.
here. We have quite a number of contributions coming in. But before we go to the
Hmm.
contributions, I liked what you said that you could utilize. I mean, within school time, when it comes to summer,
Yes.
and since in Uganda and East Africa we do not have summer usually, that would
Hmm.
be December holidays, we should say.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, uh, end of year uh, holidays.
Yes.
So to look for somewhere to do some job, to volunteer maybe, or to
Exactly.
it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are now trying to connect to where you want to go even before graduating, before getting out of
Exactly.
school, and that
Exactly.
was really very important. So uh, it seems like learning is not just in school, Dr. Abdulaziz.
No, not
What
at
would you
all.
say is the relationship between school and learning? Can we get everything we need in school, or there has to be things we have to learn from outside school?
Of course not. Of course not. School will give you basics, and usually it's more of the basics of a specialty in particular. Um, this specialty is not gonna be just you. So, for example, there is a lot of other things that you have to learn and to push yourself to learn. And they call it soft skills, like, for example, presentation skills, some teamwork skills, leadership skills. All these skills, they are gonna plug in one day in your future when you go and find a job. The thing is, these things are learned usually not in class. Usually, it's learned in extracurricular activities. Those activities, such as groups or clubs in the university, which all universities have, are going to be the most fertile place to learn these things.
Okay, great. So we have not only to restrict our selves in
Hmm.
classroom, but we have to go out there and look for what you called soft skills.
Yes,
Personally, soft skills is something we consider very serious at Excellencia since we are a coaching institute. So
definitely.
we believe, strongly believe that without these skills, even the hard skills you have will not benefit you. The knowledge you have, you'll not be able to communicate that knowledge. So
True.
they stand between your success and failure. They can determine your fate.
Yes,
So Dr. Abdulaziz is trying to tell us that we cannot leave school without mastering these skills.
yes.
And these skills have to be mastered not in class, because class there could be a lot of things going on, even maybe the
Hmm.
timetable, the schedule might not be favorable for this
True.
for every student to be catered for in terms of acquiring these soft skills.
Hmm.
And I find that very, very important. We have a contribution here from Sister Mona. She's saying school is a building
Hmm.
in which students and pupils collect to gain knowledge through teachers. Okay, thanks for that
Hmm.
definition,
Hmm.
Sister Mona. And she continues to say, okay, let me see. Learning is acquiring knowledge, both theoretical and practical, I think she wanted to say, to use
Yeah.
it to push further in life. Yeah, this is also
Hmm.
very great. The acquisition of knowledge or skills through study, experience, and being taught. This is all. These are great questions, Sister Mona. You're most welcome. So, Dr. Abdulaziz,
Yes.
I want us to look at because we need to go to the most practical bit of this. Okay, we want to
Hmm.
look at life in school
Hmm.
and life after school, as our viewers
Hmm.
will also join us. We want your experience, everyone who is watching. What do you think
Hmm.
school is, and what surprised you when you got out of school, or did you find it the same thing? We want to discuss this because if we do not understand the reality or
Hmm.
the two realities, the nature of the two realities, we are definitely not going to be able to prepare the way we want to be prepared. So, as a professor at the university,
Hmm.
you've been a student some time and you're now
Yes.
out of school. What can you say about life in school and life after school?
Mhm. So I think life in school is the golden opportunity to acquire. The life after school is to give based on what you acquired, okay, and to serve your community, to serve your country, in the best way you can. Of course, learning does not stop in life, but at the same time, at school, imagine that all of your time you are just getting or taking knowledge, taking skills, taking ingesting a lot of input, and afterwards, the opportunity of learning is gonna be in a different way, which is going to be more of a practical learning. Plus, you have other things to fulfill, such a job. If you have a family, you have to make sure you are responsible of your family and stuff like that. So in school, really, it's the golden time to gain as much as possible so you can plug it in the future life and use it in the future, uh, which will make a difference for you in the future. um, I think life after school is one of the things also that you need to make sure that you are on the right track, and this is done when you first enter the school and look at what you're going to be in the future. So it's really very connected to each other. At the same time, they are really a distinct ages of your life. Usually, most of students when they graduate, they feel that they are going into a new life or a new stage of their life. uh, which is very also encouraging to have a rewarding a life after school.
Great, great. Thank you very much. And I liked it. I don't know. People are going to be telling us their experience, how they looked at life in school and life out after school.
Hmm.
There are sometimes some people say, and I would really agree with them on a
Hmm.
number of couple of points. There is a disconnect between life in school and life after school.
Right.
So, no, at least in a way that most of the students are not usually aware why, I mean, what it is like out here, what it is like outside
Hmm.
school. Yes, the knowledge may be, and maybe they become very good at solving mathematical problems, and maybe they
Hmm.
acquire quite a number of beautiful skills, but there is quite a disconnect between what is in school and the environment they are going to find out here. And you have
Yes.
just said that it is actually, they are just phases. Okay, they are just phases and they are all part of your life. But now that crossing over from one page and opening a new chapter with a new page happens to be challenging sometimes.
True.
I really wish to know, and to be clear, what really exists outside and does not exist in school.
Hmm. Yeah. So I think when you are in school, school mainly teach you how to learn. So this is a very important aspect. School, uh, it's right that they teach you very specific courses and very specific topics, but they also teach you how to learn. This skill could be applied in the future after graduating to learn new things in your career. It's very important to know that what you are learning in school may not be applied in the future. Okay? But one of the main things that you should know is uh, you learned in school how to learn new things. So you have the most powerful tool that won't be that is useful for you in the future and won't make you feel scared in the future that yes, I can learn, I can do whatever it takes to learn new skills or to learn new information or to do a certain task or job. So the future is not scary or it's not a problematic. You should be more looking forward to it and take from school uh, the right tools to face the future with it.
Mhm. That is really brilliant. So school is not is actually giving you and teaching you the most important skill, which is how to learn.
Yes.
So whenever you go, whenever the future calls for any kind of learning, you should be open to learning. What
Yes.
happens in my experience, I don't know what you think about it and what everyone there out there watching is thinks, but I
Mm-hmm.
kind of find like students usually want to get out of school so they can stop learning. They are fed up of tired
Yeah.
of learning. So it is like after school is the end to them. So I think it needs to be made clear to them that we you are actually learning to continue learning, how to continue learning after school. Unfortunately, this is not what we see in our students, and this is not what we actually I have not met many students who believe that they're
Uh-huh.
acquiring the skill to be able to learn even after school. Most of them are like, let us learn. I'm remaining with only 1 year,
Yeah.
one semester. So I'm going to be done with that stuff, with that skill. What what uh,
Mm-hmm.
what can you say about that?
I think so. Each school follows a system or an education system that is implied by governments or implied by ministries and stuff like that. Some are good, some are bad. Regardless of that, you should not rely just on what you have. You should be the motor of your learning process. Whatever you're learning in school is not going to be beneficial to anybody other than you. So, you are the decision is in your hands to take whatever is just in school and stop there or continue and finding things here and there. Um, uh, the very first beginning example I mentioned about trying to go in during in your vacation, as you said in December, the end of the year, and work. This is something is an extra thing. It's not something you are doing because you're forced to. So here comes the good person or the excellent person who can be distinguished from his peers by gaining in that time of school more information, more experience, more practical experience. I'm sure that there is no course in school that tells you, or that there's no course in the school that is titled How to Learn, course 101, How to Learn. You know,
But it is
it's,
important to have it. I mean, in
it's,
my own opinion.
I agree. I agree. But at the same time, I think most schools, they take it as part of practice. You're being learning for like 4 years, so you should know how to learn at the end of that.
Mhm.
Uh, Unfortunately, I agree with you that some schools they don't teach research methods, scientific writing, stuff like that. But in here, you should be the one who push towards these things.
Mhm. Great, great. Let me see what some of our viewers are saying. Um,
Mhm.
Okay, Mona is saying learning stops when one dies, but after school, knowledge from school can help you add value to what you want to be in life. So, school is important,
True.
and she's not disputing the fact that school is important, but you need to continue
Hmm.
to learn. She also says life after school is a decision you take to create a conducive environment for your survival by working creatively and hard
Hmm.
on the needs than wants. She has really very good insights.
I agree.
Let me see. She also says exactly many times things we learn in school are irrelevant outside school.
Hmm.
Uh, it's like outside school is more practical,
Right.
and this is a challenge as I and in our countries, in East Africa. I do not know how it is in Riyadh, in Saudi
Hmm.
Arabia, but there
So,
is a disconnect between what is in school and after school, and many
mhm,
people get so frustrated when they
yes.
get out.
Let me just mention something about that. There are subjects and topics that you may not see a direct use in the future for it. For example, uh, if you studied math, I don't think in an interview you're gonna be given like multiplication questions and you should solve them. But in fact, those basic information or basic knowledge that you're gaining in school, they plug in the way you think. They work on the way of how you solve problems, and they give you it's like a tool more than it's something you apply only. If you know what I mean. Um, Not everything you learn in school means you have to see an obvious application for it, but learning it will definitely
If
give
you
you
can
some.
please elaborate more about that.
Yeah. Not everything in school you learn you're gonna see a direct application for it, because some basic sciences that you're learning in school is gonna be like a tool to make you think in a different way. It's like some of those things they do work on your background b- in your brain. It's not something you are gonna think of it directly and use. Okay. At the same time, what they are teaching in school should be general for all fields, not just like or for many like subspecialty in the same field. So when you go in the market and you start working, not everybody is going to do the same job as you do, but they all studied in the same. For example, if your batch is like a 20 students, a 30 students, they're all going to work in the future. What they studied, some of it apply for person A but does not apply for person B. Person B, he will take from other courses that he learned in school, things that it's not going to be useful for you, for example, as person C.
Mhm.
I hope this is clear, or I answered your question.
Yeah, it is great. We have a contribution from one of the sisters, Sister Hadia.
Mm-hmm,
She says,
mm-hmm,
Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, Hadia. One challenge um, is most likely one challenge one is most likely to face is while in school we are usually moving on programs already made for us as compared to the life out where one needs to draw their own programs. What do you say about that?
exactly. And that's what I was mentioning, or that's what I meant by in school they teach you how to learn. In the future, it's your responsibility to push this learning process and to get motivated to learn to solve new problems in your career.
Great. We have a contribution. What you choose to learn is important in schools, but won't determine your future, but how positive you perceive it. So, so she's trying to say, Sister Mona, that what you learn
Hmm.
is very important, but doesn't determine your future. Your attitude would do a lot of good or harm. What do you think?
Hmm. Um, that's true. That's true to a certain extent because what she's saying is that whatever you learn at school should not determine what is your future. It's how you perceive it and how you use it. If you know how to use the tools that were provided in school, you are definitely gonna succeed in life. uh, One of those soft skills that you should learn in school is by, for example, team projects and teamwork, presentation skills, such as like when you present at school for a teacher. This is how you learn presentation skills. So some people does perceive what they have as homeworks, for example, as something that is boring, or it's not something I want to do. But in fact, it's teaching you not just to solve the homework as much as to be committed to your responsibilities and what you have to do. And if you did not do it, you don't get rewarded. And this is very similar to real life. If you don't have commitment, if you don't have positive perception of life and of whatever tasks you are going to handle, it's going to be very hard for you to solve, and you're not going to commit to time that is allocated for those tasks and responsibilities. So what she's saying is right. In school, it does not whether you studied math or science, this is not going to determine what is your future is, because everybody study the same, but there is still differences in future and life, in careers, just because people have different attitudes and different way of dealing with future problems. Still they study the same. So I agree with her very much. Hello.
Hello, everyone. We-
Friend,
There was some
yes.
technical bit of challenge. I hope you're
Hmm.
still with me, Dr. Abdul Aziz,
Yes, I'm
and
still here.
everyone else. Yeah, can you hear me? If you can hear me, just say yes in the
Yes.
comments. Those who are watching, so we can be sure you're still with us. You know, we try to control technology as much as we
Hmm.
can, but yeah, it doesn't fail to disappoint sometimes. Okay, so I was saying that I also like what Dr. Sumaya is trying to say. Continuous learning after school doesn't only give you the opportunity to get jobs, okay, but also to boost your career growth. So she's actually broadening the aspect of learning, not only to be, I mean, considering job
Hmm.
opportunities, but a whole career.
Yes,
What do you
that's
think about
true.
Happoint?
And pushing the whole industry in what you're doing towards a higher level of what it is today. Um, here comes the responsibility that you learned from doing before. Here comes the positive attitude that you should go with. Here comes the all the skills that you learned as tools to make you grow by yourself. And if you grew in a place or in a job, definitely the career is gonna grow. The business itself or the place that you're working in is gonna grow also. Imagine that if you were working uh, in a company and you are a very good presenter, and this company is a marketing company. So, one good selling or seller in that company, salesman, imagine all of them is good in presentation skills. So, you have more than one person that are in that company that are good salesmen. Therefore, the company itself is going to grow and thrive. So it's exactly what Ms. Sumaya is saying.
Yeah, thank you very much. I like exactly what you said at the end. Like we need to push the whole industry. So when a student, this is a very key point to me. When you are learning whatever you're trying to learn to get better at, be there to make an impact in that industry, not just
Exactly.
to be fed or get a simple job and be
True.
content because of
True.
that. So,
True.
for example, here we are coaches at Excellence International Institute. If you're learning to be a coach, to be a certified coach, you need to push further. If coaching is about improving people's lives, you need to be thinking about bringing in new models, better models from your practice, so you can teach everyone else how to do it better. And everyone, I think that is right and true for every single specialty you might choose to go. And she's like students because Professor Sumaya, I like her views
Mm,
because she interacts with students on a daily basis at the university. She's like
beautiful.
students should be really made aware of the soft skills before leaving school. Otherwise, it's going to be
True.
tougher. I don't know what you're doing about that. At home here in Uganda, universities and institutes, the schools are trying, but not really that much. And I think in the near future, we'll be hosting one of the leading academicians here to
Yeah,
tell us what they are doing about soft skills because most of the talent dies because of these skills. So Dr. Sumaya insists
true.
that before school, we should prioritize the issue of soft skills so the kids are
Yes.
good to
Yes.
go.
One of the things that we learn here when we design courses is in a rough estimate. If we want to set goals for a career for a course, uh, around 2 out of 7 co- goals works on the knowledge itself, on the topic itself, on whatever scientific part you're teaching. The other 5 goals really focuses more on soft skills when we
Mhm.
design courses. So, for example, if you are teaching a course that is related to innovation, or for example, a course that is related to, I will talk about my subspecialty, like for example, devices in hospitals. So, 2 of the goals will focus on the science behind the devices and how they work, and the mechanism and
Mhm.
these things. The other 4 or 5 uh, goals will focus on how they work in teams, how they do presentations, how they learn how to excel in their field and that specific subject, and go on. So I think this goes along with most of international universities in countries where they have very good education. And I think it's very crucial nowadays more than just the science itself.
Thank that that was great. Let me see
Thank you.
if there is any other comments, so we
Mhm.
can go to the next. Let me
Yes,
see.
sure.
One someone is saying, learn to acquire knowledge, not to get jobs, because jobs are created by what you choose to be able to do. I mean, by what you're able to do. So she's like, a job is something, but you should have a good attitude towards learning. A job will always be your decision to make.
Yes, yes. Uh,
Uh, sh- okay.
it's always good to start thinking in the future. I want to be an employer more than an employee.
hmm
Um,
Let's talk about that for a while,
yes,
because the whole world is suffering unemployment and everyone is demanding governments to do something about that.
yes,
If
yes.
you can stress that point, I think it is going to be very useful.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
So most of us, or most of students, when we first graduate, we think that the best thing is to go and get employed in this big company or this government entity, or for example, this place that is paying good salaries, and they have stable income, and they have stable position. Yes, this is very good at the beginning of your life. This will give you very good information and a solid background, and it will give you a very beautiful experience. But I think this is not your real purpose. I think your real purpose should be about excelling from that point and finding a gap where you can fulfill in your country, in your lifetime. This gap is like every place have millions of gaps and millions of problems that could be solved by new coming upcoming startups and companies. So here we should be the smart ones who find these gaps, create or find needs in these gaps, create solutions, and make out of them businesses and make out of them technologies. This is how you are going to be an employer, not just an
hmm
employee. This is how you are going to excel as a person, by trying new brave steps. This is how you're going to improve and boost your place that you are living in, your society, your country, whatever wherever you are living.
Okay, that is great. I like the whole discussion about being employers, thinking as bosses, not as just
Exactly.
employees. Because the world right now, where we are at right now, we need more people to start up jobs than people to seek
Yes.
jobs, because jobs are not here anyway. But you can become a boss and employ quite a number of your friends. And we
Yes.
shall come back to talk about entrepreneurial skills maybe with Dr. Abdulaziz. I know he's
Sure.
someone who is fond of that topic. He like it very
Yes.
much, and see how to help and equip our listeners, our viewers, uh, with some skills and ideas on how to start up a business. It doesn't matter how much capital that you have and
Yes.
where you
Yes.
are.
Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
we are 45 minutes down the road, so we have just a few minutes left. But I
mhm.
usually do not want to let out any of our viewers' comments because they're really
Yes.
important. I will
I
take
agree.
these two comments, then I will we shall go to the topic that will definitely lead to the end. We have the reason many are unemployed after school is the attitude of thinking they are studying to get white collar jobs. On reaching out, it's different. We need to be more skilled than just theoretical. On addition of spending a lot of time in schools, yeah, that is quite a contribution. Do you have something to say about it?
Of course. So I believe um, there is a difference between a person who find a ladder and or stairs and he just want to go up, and another person who makes the ladders or the steps and he goes up. So
Hmm.
the difference is whoever goes up directly without making the ladder or the steps, he doesn't know uh, where are the shortcuts in that ladder or in that steps. Whoever made that ladder or these steps knows where are the shortcuts, so where he can excel faster.
Hmm.
Here comes those who I'm 100% positive most of those big huge car companies, for example, uh, they started all of them as engineers or mechanics in somebody else's workshop. Most of them they also started by themselves. This is how they made empires. So it's very important for you to work first of all any job in the field that you like, even if it was the lowest position possible. Don't ever say no to an opportunity. Afterwards, you can have the right to say no because you know very good that I can fulfill this and I can do this. And now I am in a position where I know what to do. Here becomes, here you are going to be the experienced person more than
Hmm.
anybody else because you tried the job from the bottom up.
Okay. Well, that is quite a genius. Uh, I mean, output and input as well.
Thank you. I
That is
appreciate that.
genius of you, Professor Abdulaziz. And talking about opportunities, there is a model we are working on as Excellencia here in East
Hmm.
Africa. It is going to be very powerful. We need to maybe to sum it up. Uh,
Yeah.
it is two questions
Hmm.
and one statement. Okay, people are looking for success, people are looking for a lot of stuff and how to do it and how to grow self development and everything.
Hmm.
But talking about opportunities, the first question is how much of opportunities, how much of the resources can you see? Because we are like at any given point, any given time, a human being will have what they need to succeed at that particular moment. But
Right.
now the question is, how much of what you have can you see? So you need to sharpen your eye, you need to sharpen
Hmm.
your approach, and we have a series of trainings about that. Then the second
Hmm.
question is like, uh, how creative are you? Because these are bricks and everyone uses bricks to build. Now, which kind of building do you want us to see? Do you want to bring or to build?
Yeah.
So that is the second question. How creatively can you use your bricks to build
Hmm.
what you want? Now, the
Hmm.
statement is about values. What
Hmm.
are your values? What do you believe in? Because this is now the basis
Hmm.
upon which you'll be able to do a lot of stuff to build all your life, because you remember who
Hmm.
you are and you don't get lost into that.
True.
So talking about opportunities, if our viewers and everyone can take
Hmm.
account of this, and of course we shall be coming here to do webinars
Hmm.
about this model and how to approach it. But I would love to see what you have to say about it.
Sure. Uh, so I just have a little comment about what you said about how much you have to see of your future in order to pursue it, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes you don't see anything, but you have to have faith and you have to have
Mm-hmm.
hope. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your faith
Great.
and hope are going to be your vision towards your future. If this happened, imagine that you are in a room and sometimes the lights go off. You still know the room details and you can go out of that room. This
Mm-hmm.
is a contribute, like this is um, a mixture of experiences and hope. So here experiences because you built that room, and
Mm-hmm.
hope, you know that I will gonna go out of this room regardless of where I'm not seeing the door where it is. So by having your experiences here, they are gonna guide you with the hope that you have towards the exit and towards a better place than you are in.
Great.
Um, going back to your question about using the bricks, I think uh, just having the bricks is a very good opportunity you should not miss. Never say
Mm-hmm.
no to any opportunities come into
Yeah.
your way. The busier
Mm-hmm.
you are, the better person you are because you're being more productive.
Great.
The more you get rest, it means you are less productive. It means you're not improving yourself. Once you
Great.
are in a resting position, it means you are in your comfort zone, and that means you are not improving. So
Mm-hmm.
take whatever opportunity comes in your path. This will create other better opportunities for yourself just by taking those ones that in front of you. You never know. Those
Mm-hmm.
opportunities, if you did not take them, they will never come back again. Just treat them this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. It is really great, and it reminds me of this approach that life is just a journey. You keep moving, and
Yes.
every piece that you actually pick up shall matter in time. You might not have the whole picture, and that is the point actually, for you not to know the whole thing. This is what
Yes.
makes it interesting. So that
Exactly.
was really great. Someone says in Germany, Mona is in Germany. She's like, in
Mm-hmm.
Germany, learning takes only 12 to 13 years, unlike in Africa. You're in Africa, you're skilled and ready to create jobs for yourself. So the education system can hinder the population's development if not adjusted. She's like something needs to be done
Mm-hmm.
back at home in Africa. I'm an African, so she's not talking about you in Middle East,
Mm-hmm.
maybe,
I think
but
I
she's like,
think I
mm,
think each person should start with themselves and be an example for others in learning.
mm,
If they did not get what they have to get in school, they can get it later on in the career.
mm-hmm,
So you are, for example, Mona is definitely a colleague of somebody
mm-hmm,
who did not get what they have to get in the previous like school years. So now it's the time for them to get what they want by seeing Mona as an example.
mm-hmm. Great. Great. And in this generation, I believe there is nothing like I missed. We cannot find
Hmm.
seated there saying that I missed my window. Technology has made a lot of things really
Yes,
very very
yes,
different. You can always
yes.
catch up in any style if you choose
And
to.
you are not you are not restricted to what you have in your place these days. You have the all the world in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, right now you're speaking from Riyadh, and people in Kampala, Nairobi, and Tanzania, and everywhere else are seeing you and sharing knowledge. So it
True.
is so easy for us to catch up. Dr. Sumaya is saying it is really important to learn, I think, to teach students how to become entrepreneurs and to create jobs. Yeah, that was, I think she's commenting on one of your statements.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Uh,
Let me see.
it is important. I agree on that because also uh, creating jobs, it means by default you are an entrepreneur, and this thing is missing in our world really much. Um, I think being an entrepreneur uh, is smart by itself. Plus, whoever reaches to this status, they really went through a lot, so they have a lot of experience in what they're doing. That's why it's whoever reaches that point is really a skilled person. The process by itself is rough. At the same time, it's full of self development.
Mhm. Great, great. We have a comment from Omar. Mr. Omar says
Mm-hmm.
parents should be close to their kids during the learning stages in order to evaluate and maximize on the kids' full potentials. You find good carpenters, uh, a good carpenter or a doctor in a totally wrong area because the father wanted that or this and that is it. You see. So, Mr. Omar, from the way I understand, is like parents now need to be more involved than before because there is a lot of stuff that the kids are exposed to, a lot of careers. So to be able to help the kid walk this journey and make right decisions really matters a lot. What do you think about his comment?
I think parents are more important than school. They are the filter of what kids and what clients. So if the kids are
Dr.
exposed to
Abdulaziz.
a lot, they're gonna suffocate. If the filter, they're gonna drown.
Dr. Abdulaziz, can you hear me?
Challenges. Yes, yes, I can. Can you?
Can you hear me? I did not really get you well. You were
Can you
still
hear me?
saying parents do what? You were still explaining about what parents should do and
Yes. What I was saying is parents are like filters. They have to choose what comes to their kids. At the same time, they don't have to be. Uh, if those filters are blocked, the kids are gonna suffocate. If those filters are open and there's no filtration, they are gonna drown. The kids are gonna drown. So it's very important for them to be close to their kids, especially in this time because there are more challenges these days than before. Plus, kids are growing up. So when they're growing, it's better to be a friend of your kid than just a parent.
great, great. We are coming to the end. We have just 2 minutes, and I believe by now most of our viewers and those, I mean, whether they are viewing live or they will view after this, those who have not been able to attend to
Hmm.
be here with us live, it is clear up to now that we school is important,
Yes.
but it is not enough. You need to go ahead and go an extra mile to learn a little bit more. So by now, someone who is still in school knows at least where to start from, and maybe they have developed new insights, and they will be able to reach out to Excellential, reach out to Dr. Abdulaziz is open, and he
Hmm.
does this full time.
Yes.
So I would really love us to, in this closing minutes, to talk about those what advice can you give to those who are out of school already and they missed that preparation in school? What can we tell them that could help them do something about it
Yes.
now?
So, first of all, it's never too late to learn again or to try to go into school again. Uh, I know people who are doing amazing jobs and they went out of school early or they did not complete school. At the same time, school is yes, it is important, and I agree it's very important to go into jobs. But really, after school, you still can gain whatever you missed before. Uh, Learning is not a one-time thing. It's not, or it does not stop by school stopping. So really, it's about the process of learning and how to learn. This is what you get in school. Still, whoever is doing a job, they are gonna be definitely experienced in what they're doing, and they're gonna be masters in what they're doing if they have the positive uh, 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 attitude towards what they're doing, and having a belief in themselves that they can do and they have what it takes to do what they are doing. Still, it's very important for you guys to know that you're contributing positively to whatever you're doing. And what you're doing is not going to be just affecting you, but it does affect the whole society around you. So you always have the chance to make it better.
Mhm. Great. That was quite a wonderful closing closing statement, and I cannot add anything on that. I really wish. I thank you first of all for being here and accepting to be here despite your busy schedule. And should
I
we
would like
promise our
also to
viewers that you'll
thank
come
you
back?
for. Sure, why not? Why not? I would like also to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I believe that we are in one world. So, whatever we are going to serve one goal, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, brother Abdulaziz
Sure,
from Riyadh.
sure.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you very
everyone who has
much.
been with us for over 1 hour, and those who have contributed, those who have been watching and following closely. Invite a friend. You watch this if you find it important. Dr. Sumaya is thanking you. She's saying it was an interesting topic. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome, Dr. Sumaya. uh, Next time we shall have you again. I mean,
Thank you.
Dr. Sumaya needs to be with us so she can share much. And Sister Mona is
Yes,
like,
why
was
not?
it was so educative. You're most welcome, please.
Alhamdulillah. That's good. I'm
Alhamdulillah.
happy.
Uh, Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for commenting. Let me see what she's. It was an interesting topic. Thank you for sharing. You're most welcome, Dr. Sumaya. And everyone else who is going to watch this again and again. It is important to share knowledge. We hope you found this very important, and we shall be.
Yes.
You can always, uh, uh, like we say here, you can always suggest what you want to learn about, what you want us to talk about, and we shall talk about it. Thank you very much, everyone, and
Have a
have
good
a good
night,
night,
everyone.
Doctor, and have a good night,
You too,
everyone,
my
or good
brother.
evening. I don't know, wherever you are. See you next time.
You too. Take care.
You too, please.